Hi folks, it's another movie review from the world of Australian cinema. This is a movie called Jindabyne, and it came out a little earlier than I thought. I've just finished watching it, and it was released in 2006. I didn't really read the blurb on the back, but basically the synopsis, all I saw was it involved a murder, and anyway. I chucked it on tonight, and I was pretty disappointed. My expectations weren't super high for one reason or another, but it's just a bit of a plodding film. It runs for a little over 2 hours. And to give you the synopsis, and that does actually say this on the back, so I'm not giving anything away. Some guys go on a fishing trip. They discover a body in the river, and instead of reporting it then and there, or walking back to the car and calling with their mobile phones from the hilltop, they're sort of in this deep gully. Instead of doing that, they just keep fishing for a couple of days, and then they report the body being found. That in and of itself is kind of an interesting twist, and there's an interesting psychology to that. It's interesting to explore that psychology in cinema, and I do like films with psychological intrigue. And unsurprisingly, it turns out this is based on a short story. Normally films with this kind of intrigue are based on a novel or a short story or something. So, yeah, it all sounds kind of good so far. Unfortunately, folks, the film moves very, very slowly, especially in the first 45 minutes. It's just plodding along. There are all of these characters in the film that do not need to be there. Little side characters, little side facts about the side characters, and it's all kind of pointless in the end. The other unfortunate thing about this film is that the acting at times struggles, and it's kind of made to seem extra bad through non-aggressive editing, non-clever editing, I would say unimaginative directing, and a bit of a banal script, to be frank. The guy who plays the lead character, he actually did a good job. That kind of saved the film. I should probably tell you his name. I'm guessing it's Gabriel Byrne. Okay? Because that's the name written on the front of the cover. And he's playing an Irish character who's living in a small town, but you don't really get to... I actually thought it was an American accent when I first heard it. And I thought they'd just put a couple of foreign actors in because that's all they could find. It doesn't really explore that Irish aspect at all. It's a bit odd, to be honest with you, the way it's been filmed like that. But at any rate, he's the character. A good actor, I think, saved the film in some ways. The film needed to be a good 30 minutes shorter. After the first 40 minutes or so, after the guys get back to their sort of small town and news starts to break that they didn't tell anyone about the body for 2 days, it becomes a more interesting film. There's a period of the film that's quite enjoyable, I suppose. I guess there's a side aspect to this film where the murdered person was Aboriginal or part Aboriginal. And so it does kind of bring in some coverage of the racism question. And, does the film kind of start to go down a politically correct exploration? Unfortunately, there is that kind of aspect. I got to admit, started watching this, I was like, at least this isn't a film about racism or anything like that. It's just a film that happened to be filmed in Australia. But no, it does go down. It does go down that path. And I didn't do it like really badly or anything. It's just that the film has that character now. Like I said, the directing is pretty uninspired. The acting is not that great for the most part. Script is banal. The cinematography is not too bad. I think with a more aggressive edit, yeah, this would have been more in some parts. Some of the music over the top was just a bit, I don't know, formulaic. Scenes and this sort of like warbling, sort of singing over the panning shots of the valley and whatever. I don't know. It was just a little formulaic for me. I can only give this movie a 5. It's not really worth watching. I'd say it's worth watching if you're thinking about making a film, especially like a B film in Australia, because this shows some of the things that can go wrong, and a re-edit of this could fix a lot of that just by cutting out big swathes of the film, especially in the first half. Would really, really help. Have a movie idea in my own head about, we kind of based in a small town with some weird behaviour of the residents, and I guess this film could be a lesson in how to avoid doing that badly, at least doing editing badly. The other thing is, there are quite a few scenes of like domestic stress and domestic arguments in this film, and they're quite unpleasant to watch. And the woman's yelling and smashing a vase, and the guy's getting upset, and the grandmother gets involved, and it's just unpleasant. I hate domestic disputes being portrayed in movies. It doesn't add much to the film. And it happens, like a few times. It's just really unpleasant to watch. Yeah, who wants to hear? This is what people are trying to get away from, isn't it? Too many characters, the children in the film, it's kind of hard to work out why they're really there. And, yeah, just a bit, I don't know, maybe this stuff worked in the short story, but it just didn't work in the movie. If they had stuck more to the central aspect of the film, it would have been more interesting. The focus is not very much on the killer, on the murderer. He is in the film, you see who it is and everything, but yeah, it's not about him. It's not about solving the case. Yeah, guys, Jindabyne, it's not going to focus. Let's do that, maybe. I give it, this Panasonic autofocus. I give it 5 out of 10. I'll just tell you the director's name, Ray Lawrence. There's some bullshit about this. It's an award. It says official selection, Directors Fortnight, 2006 Cannes Film Festival. I mean, it's like an award without really. It's a Clayton's Award. That's what he used to say, didn't he? It's a Clayton's Award. Yeah, stay away from it, guys, unless you just want to see some mistakes that people can make when they make a movie in Australia. Alright, thanks for watching.